Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And this is another unfortunate story. This time, not a cop shooting and a civilian, U.S. civilian, but it is a civilian ambushing a Minnesota police officer and killing him. This police officer came to a disturbance and went to help a supposed victim, and then the victim ends up shooting and murdering the cop. What a sad story. Here we go. Minnesota police officer dies in ambush shooting that killed two others, including suspected gunman. A Minnesota police officer responding to a shooting call was ambushed and killed Thursday when he stopped to provide aid to a man who appeared to be the victim. That man instead wound up shooting the officer, authorities said. The death of Officer Jamal Mitchell happened during a chaotic situation involving two crime scenes 2 blocks apart that left 3 people dead. 3. 2 others hospitalized in critical condition, and another officer and a firefighter with less serious injuries. I've seen the video, and he was ambushed, Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension Superintendent Drew Evans said at an evening news conference. I'm using the term for a reason. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey said authorities are still investigating and asked people to be patient with us as we do not know all of the facts yet. We want to make sure that the investigation is completed and we're doing it the right way. Law enforcement provided a brief narrative of what transpired, starting when officers responded to a call of a double shooting at an apartment complex in South Minneapolis neighborhood of Whittier. As Mitchell was about 2 blocks from the complex, he noticed individuals who were injured. He got out of his car to provide aid to one man who wound up shooting Officer Mitchell. Another officer arrived and exchanged gunfire with the shooter, who died despite life-saving efforts on the part of the officers, Minneapolis Assistant Police Chief Katie Blackwell said. That officer had 9 life-threatening wounds. Evans said another person, believed to be an innocent bystander, was shot and taken to the hospital in critical condition. The firefighter was also shot and injured. When other officers went to the apartment, they found 2 people inside who had been shot. One was dead and the other was hospitalized in critical condition. Evans said he believed the shooting was isolated to the 2 locations and that the people in the apartment had some level of acquaintance with each other. The connection between the 2 shooting scenes wasn't immediately clear. Police had said the public was not in any danger. The shooting comes 3 months after 2 officers and a firefighter paramedic in the Minneapolis suburb of Burnsville were killed while responding to a domestic violence call. In that case, a man began shooting from a home while 7 children were inside. A 3rd officer was wounded before the man died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz said Minnesotans were feeling the trauma again of public safety officers dying when rushing to help people in need. That trauma quickly should turn to anger and a commitment that this cannot happen, he said. We do not have to live this way. Mitchell had been with the department about 18 months. He was a father and was engaged to be married. Police officers stood in a line outside of Hennepin County Medical Center where Mitchell was pronounced dead. The city of Minneapolis lost a hero in police officer Jamal Mitchell, Fry said. This officer gave the ultimate sacrifice to protect and save the lives of others. His life, his service, and his name will forever be remembered in the city of Minneapolis. The Minneapolis Police Department posted on Facebook last year that Mitchell and another officer had rescued an elderly couple from a house fire. On February 7, 2023, Mitchell's third day on the job, he and Officer Zachary Randall responded to a call and found a house on fire, the post said. The officers ran inside and got the couple out before the home was fully engulfed in flames and destroyed. Their quick actions were truly heroic as they prevented this fire from being even more tragic, Chief Brian O'Hara said in the post. Mitchell, he was a wonderful human being, Blackwell said. He was exceptional in every way. What a sad story. And now we're seeing there's always stories of police officers allegedly shooting innocent citizens, but we're starting to see an uptick in our U.S. citizens sometimes shooting police officers. I did a video about a gentleman that had shot and killed a state trooper in New Mexico. I also did a video on the story that's within this story of the gentleman who was married, had 7 kids, and he ended up killing a police officer and a firefighter in Minnesota. And now we have this shooting that took place where this Minneapolis police officer dies in an ambush where he was trying to help a supposed victim who had been injured, and then that victim turned and shot the police officer and killed him. What is going on with our public safety? If we're going to start having scenarios where police officers are making a rush to judgment and committing egregious behaviors on innocent bystanders and citizens and shooting them, now you're seeing citizens of the United States, or people of the United States, shooting police officers. We are getting ready to have complete civil unrest. If there is no respect and or fear of retaliation or going to prison by shooting a law enforcement official, whether it's a police officer, lawyer, judge, where is the dividing line between truth and justice? We are completely heading in the wrong direction as we see more and more stories of, as I say, regular everyday people, whether they have a criminal background or whether they have mental illness, opioid addiction, or what have you, and they're not honoring the badge of our law enforcement individuals and deciding to take their lives without any contrition. This is turning our supposed healthy, positive way of living in America and our public safety is all being put at danger. This is why I do these videos. We need to respect law enforcement. Law enforcement needs to respect positive tax-paying citizens, and even just our citizenry as a whole. We're losing complete respect for anybody and everybody, whether in a leadership position, as a teacher at a school where a student beats up a teacher, bullying, where kids are fighting and kids are getting killed after school, walking home. It is an unhealthy environment on our public transportation systems, whether it's the St. Louis Metro Link, the Chicago L, the New York subway. People are being assaulted, being shot, being murdered in broad daylight. Kids are getting shot during their lunch period, going to get lunch in the Chicago Loop. 8 kids got shot at a bus stop in Philadelphia. Where are we headed and what are we doing? We need to put more hugs and love in our lives. We need to respect authority figures. Authority figures need to respect us, and we need to galvanize each other in a humane way and respect, and we need to broaden the gap between life and death. Many people are making rush to judgments. There are way too many guns on the street, and look at what the end result has become. Police officers are afraid to make traffic stops. They are definitely afraid to go to a domestic violence situation. Everybody has a gun everywhere. There are more guns in people's possession than these individuals having jobs. This chasm and this axiom and this pendulum has swayed to such negativity in the over-sexualized promotion of our music, the denigration of it, the amount of gun violence, and the perpetuated harm that this music has caused in our rap community. And then people are going out and living these negative words into existence. And we're going to lose an entire generation of folks. We have to restore love and kindness back in our hearts and some kind of humanity and hope. We should be trying to help one person each and every day and not hurt one or more people each and every day, or persons. Tell me what you think about this Minneapolis shooting of this police officer. Hadn't been on the force long. Within the first week of him being on the force, he had saved an elderly couple's lives. He apparently was trying to do the right thing to preserve, protect, and save, and help us have a healthy society. And then his life gets taken by a negative, heartless-driven individual. There's way too much gun violence. There are way too many assaults and murders that are taking place. And a lot of this is due to gun violence, too many guns on the street, and too many individuals' energy is pointed in the wrong direction. Let's manifest our truth in the right direction and be positive, righteous, and God-fearing. Tell me what you think. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth.